Hello, my fellow investors, and welcome back to another viewer-requested fundamental analysis video. Let's continue to spin the wheel, guys, to see what company we should analyze today using a fundamental and, of course, discounted free cash flow approach. And we got the company COLO. Now, this one was brought up by, let's see if we can find it over here. This one was brought up by none other Lord Baron DK. So congratulations. And let's take a look at this company, guys. Let's see if at the current share price this is looking like a buy. Take a look at their fundamentals and of course see what they do. So with that said, let's get started with this analysis. So guys, this is the company Coloplast. Now, I've never heard of this company, and it's actually a company from Denmark. So right then and there, it's already going to be a little bit difficult to analyze this company, of course, using discounted free cash flow because of, you know, the currency differences and even just the overall laws in general that are different. So Lord Baron BK put in a lot of Danish companies, a lot of foreign companies, so whichever ones we get from him, understand that it's going to be a little bit off here and there. Nonetheless, though, it's a very interesting company. I have no idea what they do, so let's take a look at that right now. And looking now at the company profile, we can see that Coloplast AS develops and sells intimate healthcare products and services in Denmark, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, internationally. The company operates through chronic care, interventional urology, voice and respiratory care, wound and skin care segments. It provides ostomy care products including Sensura Mio, which provides fit individual body shapes and optimal discretion for various types of ostomies, and Sensura Ostomy Care Solutions, as well as ostomy accessories under Brava brand. So guys, they're a healthcare company, and it seems like they do a lot of I don't necessarily know what any of this stuff is, honestly. So, yeah, definitely something already taken me, you know, it's already out of my realm of expertise. However, taking a look at something very interesting right here in the company profile is that they were founded in 1954. So they've been through a lot. And on top of it, they nearly have 15,000 employees. That's very, very interesting to say the least. Now, let's come into their earnings, because, well, they did have it, but unfortunately it's probably due to the fact that this is a foreign company. Seeking Alpha doesn't have the earnings per share at all, but the revenue was $888.46 million, which was missed by $6.54 million. Coming now into the calculator. First of all, the ticker, guys, is not COLO. The ticker is actually CLPBF. All right, this is the one that you can find on Seeking Alpha, and I'm also assuming Yahoo Finance, right? We got the market cap of $170.4 billion, a PE of NA. Now, this PE of NA is not because they had negative earnings. In fact, I think it's just because of it's a foreign company. Current share price of $125.28. Looking at this graph on the 1 year, you can see that they are up 18.83. Year to date, they're up almost 9%. 52-week range is $95.75 to $145.05. We are a little bit close to that 52-week high. It's not entirely, but like it's leaning towards that. Coming back into the calculator, we can see that they do pay out a dividend of $2.84, which is a yield of 2.27, no payout ratio, a 5-year CAGR of 4.16, 0 consecutive years of dividend payment, which if we take a look at the dividend history, well, we can see that they are increasing it. I think this may just, honestly, I think, guys, this may just be due to the fact that currency fluctuations. Right, I think that just may be it, because you can see here that they are increasing it. They have one big one, and then they have a tiny one the following year. Oh, sorry, they have one little one right at the beginning of the year around May 8th, and then they give out a big one the final month of the year here in December, right? And then they repeat, right? So they are increasing this. I'm not saying they're not. It's just for some reason Seeking Alpha showing no, but I think it's just because of the fact that it's just currency fluctuations, right? Ex-dividend date passed as of May 15th. Payout date was on May 17th, and they pay their dividends semi-annually. Very, very interesting. Now, coming back into this, we can see that based off of the shares outstanding and this current annual dividends per share, we can see that they pay out $603.22 million. Now, unfortunately, based off of the 5-year average free cash flow, this is negative $8.04 million, which is bad. And then as of the last year's free cash flow, is even worse. Negative $53.32 million. These payout ratios are above 100%, guys, meaning, again, please take all this with a grain of salt, because this may be due to the fact that, well, the fact of the matter is that their currency fluctuations may affect this, right? And on top of that, regulations when it comes to Denmark may be completely different. So just keep that in mind. 109.7 and 101.35 may be bad to us, but again, if I was analyzing this using the Danish mark, then that would be completely different, right? It could be completely different. So just keep that in mind when seeing any of these numbers. So taking a look at now the fundamentals, we got the net income 5 years ago of $598.6 million to 1 year ago of $620.3 million. You can see that from 5 to 4, it was a little bit of a drop, but then they continued to increase it fairly decently. Granted, 3 and 2 years ago was COVID, so that's explainable. And you could see that, well, right after that, guys, they came back down from 751.5 to 620. So yeah, that is an increase on the 5-year 4%, but you could definitely see that the two outliers here was during COVID and the year following COVID, and then they came running back down to earth. So I'm going to give this, guys, I would say around like a 40% or so. Looking now into the cash flow, we did see that, unfortunately, based off of the current dividends, this cash flow cannot support it. However, let's take a look at this. We got 5 years ago of $583 million, to 1 year ago of $550 million. That is a decrease of 6% with an average of $595.2 million. Once again, you see the small drop 5 to 4, and then an increase from 4, 3, and 2, and then it crashes back down to roughly around what it was 4 years ago. So interesting, right? It's interesting that because COVID hits, it ramps up when it comes to everything, and then it comes crashing back down. Well, I wouldn't say crashing, but it does come back down a significant amount. So with that said, I'm going to give this thing roughly the same. I'm going to give this thing around like a 50% when it comes into the free cash flow. The revenue is actually faring a little bit better. We can see that 5 years ago is 2.56 billion to 1 year ago of 2.976 billion. Increase of 16.21%, and we don't see any massive drop from 5 to 4. In fact, it's actually increasing from 5 to essentially 2 years ago. But you can see that from 2 years ago to today, it fell down a little bit. So I'm going to give this thing, I would say, like a 95%. Looking now into the assets minus liabilities, it's been positive in the past 5 years. And on top of that, you can see that from 5 to essentially 2 years ago, increasing. But as of then, guys, I mean, we've been seeing this kind of trend. As of then, from 2 to 1 year ago, it fell. Wow, it fell almost exactly to that of the 4 year ago value. So yeah, all in all though, it's I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's just, I don't want to see that kind of drop. We'll see if they continue to increase it this year. Average total assets is $3.24 billion. Average liabilities, it is $2.13 billion. Doing the difference, we get $1.1 billion. I'm gonna give this thing, guys, I would say at around like 70%, bare minimum. Next, looking at the cash flow minus liabilities, this one is bad, just bad. We can see here that, well, consistently decreasing in the past 5 years, and on top of that, look at that 1 year ago value, negative almost $3 billion, guys. That's absolute insanity. They took on so much liabilities as of 1 year ago. It's crazy. So yeah, needless to say that this average of negative 575.16 is low, or I guess high, compared to 1 year ago value. I have to give this thing, well, let's face it, it's been continuously decreasing in the past 5 years, and that massive drop is very, very recent. I'm gonna have to give this thing, guys, a 0%. Looking now into the shares outstanding, this one caught me by surprise because, well, it's pretty stagnant, right? Pretty stagnant. We got 5 years ago of $212.4 million to today of $212.4 million. That isn't, it's nothing. It's a decrease, I guess, of 0%, right? It's gone nowhere in the past 5 years. However, from the previous year to the current year, that did increase 0.05%. Guys, it doesn't matter if it's staying stagnant or decreasing. As long as it's not dilution, it's okay in my book. So for this, I'm actually going to give this, I would say at around like, actually no, I'm not gonna contradict myself. 100%, right? 100%. They did have instances here of going up a little bit here and there, But all in all, it's nothing too much, right? Nothing too much at all. 0.05 from the previous to the current year is nothing. So I'm going to give this thing, as I said, 100%. And lastly, when it comes to the cash and equivalents, they currently hold $91.4 million with an average of $60.82 million. With the overall grades, we gave the net income guys a 40%, free cash flow 50, revenue 95, assets minus liability 70, cash flow minus liability 0, and shares outstanding of 100%. Overall grade of 62%. The only two things here that, like I guess three things, that are keeping this thing up is the revenue, the assets minus liabilities, and the shares outstanding. Aside from that, guys, it has problems. This is not a company that I'm looking at and just like, oh my god, it's amazing. No, it has problems. And the main problems I see with it is not necessarily that it's decreasing. Some of the things are though, but it's mainly the fact that the outlier occurred 3 and 2 years ago, and now they came back down to earth, but now it's just like, I have no idea where they're going, right? I have no idea where they're going, and it's a major problem. So that's just my 2 cents on this. 62%, I have no idea where it's going to go. And now let's take a look at the discounted free cash flow. And guys, not inputting anything. Well, the current share price is $125.28. This is $17.39, not adjusting for debt, and $3.42 adjusting for debt. So any number I put in here, I don't think it will ever get to $125. But I guess let's give it a shot. We got over here seeking office revenue forward showing 8.79%. So let's put something along those lines. Let's put at around, I'd say 5%. Let's say 8%, and then let's say 11% for this. And now for the projected share buyback, I guess 0. Right? 0.5 for the highest, and negative 0.5 for the lowest. That's not really going to change much. It really isn't. And with this, guys, we get $20.63 to $25.52, and adjusting for that, $6.74 to $11.49. So yeah, this is expensive. The problem with this is, again, it's a foreign company, so I'm not necessarily certain. Here's the thing also, all of these numbers I got for like the revenue, the net income, all of that is in US dollars. But then again, you do have a currency fluctuation, so that's massive. And on top of that, when it comes into governmental rules, I have no idea what they are in Denmark. So I'm looking at this, using a US lens is looking expensive by a lot, right? But at the same time, it's just like, I don't necessarily know where to actually put this when it comes into the actual currency. So just keep that in mind. And that, yeah, this is a company, again, maybe you, Lord Baron DK, maybe you know more about it, but just looking at this, it's, I just see it as expensive, and I would need to do a lot more research in order to understand this company a little bit more, because I don't even know what they do, honestly. Like, I don't know half of the terminology that they use. So yeah, this is my 2 cents on this, guys. If you guys like what we do here, please like, subscribe, comment, really does help. And understand that this is not financial advice also, right? It's not financial advice. Every investment is the present value of all future cash flow. So, you know, I'm only giving you guys my opinion on this, right? So I'm not planning on buying this company, and it is what it is, right? If you guys know more, then by all means, leave it down in the comment section below. But for me, not really interested. However, if you guys do like the fact that we give out this calculator for free, daily content, live streams, right? Live streams, the occasional live streams, the new face cam, and if we reach 3,000 subscribers, guys, by September 3rd, Mike will start doing face cam too. So if you guys would like to see that, make sure we get to 3,000 subscribers in the best way that you guys could help us reach that goal. Liking, subscribing, commenting, and of course sharing. It really does help here on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who has done that so far. And yeah, but we really can't thank you anymore. We have a lot more things to come in the future, especially for me. I plan to do like a documentary kind of thing, hopefully soon. But yeah, like I do have a lot of stuff planned when it comes to this. So if you guys like what we do, if you guys you know, want to see the future plans, then like, subscribe, comment, and of course share. And of course, looking now at this dividend, it's all right, I guess you could say. $2.84, guys, putting in $5,725. We get $129.79. Could be better, could be worse. I think it's personally expensive, but you know, $129.79. And unfortunately, guys, when it comes into the options chains, they don't have any, probably because it's a foreign company. So no options chains when it comes to this company. All in all, thank you so much, Lauren DK, for this company. I I gotta be honest, I prefer the other one. What was the other one? There used to be Genmad or whatever it was. Yeah, that one, I actually preferred that one a lot more than this one. But, you know, if you know anything more about this one, please let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, guys, that pretty much is it for this video. You guys can follow us on the new tech sites. Link is in the description below. So with that said, peace out, and we'll see you all next time.